everyone. Oh, hello, Galen. Thank you so much for joining us. Eric, Junid in India. I enjoyed your heart books. I was looking at your videos. They're fantastic and really wonderful to see. So, as usual, our Wednesday Wellbeing Folds. Yay! Hello, Galen. And bringing along a fold each week. It's a chance to get inspired by the simplest, most beautiful of materials, paper. The possibilities are endless. And this week I'm bringing along, I brought along a sort of pattern-based fold last week. Hello, Deborah, which I just really love. And it's from a beautiful book. It's from 1971. It's quite an old-fashioned book. Hello, Stephen. I love these drawings. So it's called Secrets of Origami because it's lovely, lovely book. And this was an old book from the British Origami Society. I'm very grateful for this to inspire sessions. So it really is being used well. But most of all, I just love these illustrations. They're so beautiful. So last week we did this pattern sort of based one. And I thought it'd be really fun to do this sort of star one. So it all starts with a similar base. So I've previously showed how to make a lovely round chrysanthemum. Then we've done this pattern and then we're doing this. And I think it's rather lovely because it's about exploring forms and possibilities from the same kind of start. It's very sculptural. I think these are such beautiful things. Outside and the underneath as well is lovely. So I'm curious as to what you're going to do with yours, whether you're going to use coloured paper or whether you can colour yours or just explore. But as always, it's just such a joy, isn't it? So yeah, these are other things I've been doing. I usually chat for a couple of minutes just while people are arriving. Yay! I've going through a lovely book from Tomoko Fuse and rings, which are beautiful. So this is, I think, ring number 21. Just so satisfying. No glue, it all just fits together. I love how, even though I've tried to do it as evenly as possible, you can see it's a bit wobbly, but I think it's what makes it charming and unique. It's never possible to be absolutely perfect, but they're really pleasing. Oh, they are really nice. I'm also having a go. But I don't know whether any of you have tried this book. I have to say, I feel so. The ring is from this book, which I love. I treated myself to some books for this. I thought this winter could feel a little bit long, and so it'd be really nice to do lovely, lovely things, challenge myself in the evenings. I don't that naturally follow diagrams, so it's been a bit of a challenging myself. But I thought if I just go slowly, I'm just kind on myself. Hello, Rosa. Thank you for joining us. I was just having a little bit of a chat. I usually have a chat before we get going, usually about 5 minutes past, because I realise people take a bit of time. So, Rosa, I've been starting to make rings. They're just so beautiful. This is obviously kind of a slightly more high end that with time you start doing more things. I'm going to have a go at making these lovely snowflakes. But it's in German, and although the diagrams are, of course, visual, I'm still finding myself struggling a little bit, but I like the idea of doing transparent structures. All of these things I'm thinking of is lovely to do for your own well-being, but could actually also be lovely things that you can make and send to loved ones too. So I thought I'd make a little box of treasures for my parents, things that I can have made and bring a little bit of festive spirit. It's going to be a strange Christmas, but at least now that there's a vaccine, that's possible and it's good protection. It means we really do have hope that whilst this Christmas will be strange, maybe the one after should be okay. So there is definitely hope and light. So we're going to be making this lovely star. So yeah, so that's true. You can definitely make cards as well. So after this one, I'm going to get going a lot more on festive folds, but I think this is gently bringing us towards stars, this could make a lovely festive decoration. So make sure you've got some paper. All you need is simply paper. I'm going to show you, as I always do, from Hello Rosemary, is I'm going to show you just for normal white A4 paper. And it works. And actually, I think you can see it's beautiful in its own right. If you have coloured paper, feel free to use that. You could use magazines. You could use anything. But you don't need special paper. If you have it, it could be rather nice, but it's not necessary. So I'm going to show you just from these basic, simple materials. Anybody can do origami. We can all grab some paper, can't we? So I'm going to pop this over here, grab yourself some paper, and I'll show you how to fold a star of your very own. So that book actually that I was showing you is from a magician, Robert Harbin, and he helped set up the British Origami Society. And one of his first books was called Paper Magic, and I just think that's just so appropriate. It really is like magic. But to me, the difference is there's full of surprise, wonder, wow, but there's no trickery involved. It just genuinely is amazing. And it takes quite a lot for an adult. I think normally with magic, you start puzzling, how's it done, although it's fun. Whereas with this, you're finding out exactly how it's done, and it's still amazing. So grab yourself a piece of paper. I'm going to direct the camera down, and let's get folding. Lovely. So, as always, I'm just going to show you from a normal piece of paper. Take a corner and bring it to the side, and just line it up nice and perfectly. And I think taking your time makes it just calming and soothing and gentle. And if you're nice and... Oh, yes, that's exactly what I'm thinking of doing, Stephen. Yeah, using my phone. Thankfully, it's only fairly recently I've got a smartphone, thankfully just before the lockdown. And gosh, it's so clever, isn't it? What a brilliant thing. So I've lined it up nicely through the corner. All we need to do is get rid of this rectangle. Yeah, it's really great being able to translate that way. I think I'm going to need to do that and maybe write things down. Has anybody used that snowflake book from Tomoko Fuge? So slightly struggling already, but hey, that's part of the joy, isn't it? Is not getting frustrated and just being encouraging on yourself and patient. I think it's all about an attitude to learning. And I think the more playful, the more fun we are, and see it as a process, and the puzzling, and even if things are hard, actually, it makes it even more joyful in the long run. Occasionally, knowing when to give up, but on the whole, not. I've occasionally had to. So, good strong line, you should be able to do a little nick. And then sometimes it can be something that you come back to if you're feeling like something's not working. But usually you'll get so much out of it if you just gently puzzle away. So, excellent. Calm pacing. Oh, thank you, Paula. And that's the idea, that we nice and go slowly together. So we've made a nice square. And yeah, because the point is the process, how it makes you feel. Not just getting it done. That's not the point at all. It's the journey, like life itself. So we've made a square. And if we're just going to fold it in half as a rectangle, first of all. Fold it in half again. Nice and lining it up. Like so. Yeah, go on. And I find myself as well, if I do this slowly, and in some ways I'm encouraging myself to do this slowly with you, it slows me down as well, which is lovely. Yeah. I've been watching Bob Ross programs as well. I'd never seen them before. They are so great. Just watching paint happy trees. It's so beautiful. The sound of a brush on a canvas is just beautiful. I think there's also a little bit of that with this. It's lovely and slow and gentle, the sound of paper. So we're going to take the outside and bring it to the middle. That's it. And I tend not to use the terminology that origamists would have, because I haven't really felt as if I've grown up with this. So, and taking the outside and also bringing it to the middle. And it's all just part of keeping it simple. So, it's from the outside, and then we did the halfway line, and we folded it in. So, is this a cupboard fold? I think it might be called that, which does make a lot of sense. Got those two little doors. So, everyone happy? A wardrobe fold. Yes, oh, that's nice. Yes, what could be inside? So many layers. This is another lovely layer thing. Yeah, I like that idea. It does look like a wardrobe. So, we're going to just fold it in half. So, taking it and folding it over. And I've rather enjoyed just using the white. Thank you, Eric. It's just, again, it's keeping it simple, because it's all about light and shadow and form and structure and shapes. These lovely toys. So we folded it in the middle, and next we're going to bring the outside and fold that into the middle. It's become more and more like a little layered parcel almost. And folding that to the middle, like so. Hello, Wendy. Thank you for joining us. So I don't know how much you've seen, but what we did was we took a square, we folded it in half as a rectangle, then took the two outsides and brought them to the middle so it looks like a wardrobe, so I say, and then folded that in half, and the outside will bring it to the middle. Gosh, it sounds so complicated when I put it to words. And then the bottom we're going to take to the middle. But actually you'll be able to play back any of these as well. I'm actually going to create some films. I've been asked to create some films, some origami films for a charity that works with visually impaired children. So it's going to be really interesting. I've got to get good at describing, but it's definitely possible. So our next step is opening up one side, and we're going to do a fold there and there. So to do that, take a side and then bringing it round and lining it up. Do you see? Nice little diagonal fold there. I'll find it easier pressed down. Oh, well done. So Wendy, you know what you're doing, don't you? Lovely. So it's a lovely mixture of us, people with lots of origami experience, some people without. It's all great. We're all here together folding. And what a beautiful thing that is. And I really love how origami, you can both celebrate and respect the simple and the complex. And in a way, it's the simple that's at the heart of it, isn't it? Paper texture. So it'd be good. Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. Although it'll be a film, so I won't be giving them the paper, but that's a really good point. That would be really nice. I was thinking, wouldn't it be great to have a sort of braille instructions if you had the diagrams and you've got the dotted lines and the way that we represent the mountain, the valley folds. You could do as sort of braille as an indentation on the outside of the paper. It would definitely be possible. I wonder whether anyone's done that. It'd be lovely for instructions for people who are visually impaired. Anyway, so we've done those diagonals, and you can squash it down. It looks a bit like a house, but we're not making a house this time. And again, the same thing on the other side, that we're going to again do a diagonal on each of these. So taking the side and folding this in a nice straight line. Taking your time, because that's the point. We're giving ourselves time for a bit of self-care and to slow ourselves down and just enjoy this moment, being together, being with the paper, doing something lovely. And how you feel is everything, isn't it? Thank you. So you should again be able to fold that down like so. That's it. Lovely. So our next step, hopefully you're all up with me. Do shout if you're not, otherwise I'll assume you're okay. Is to take, especially if last week you did this before, then so far it's the same. Keeping up. Great. Thank you, Eric. So taking one of these flaps, and you should be able to just push it back. It's basically going along that diagonal that we've already got, so it sticks up. And you get, if you do that for each of them. Also, I've made a windmill. I think that would have been in the summer. And again, it starts off like this. Chrysanthemum. So many things you can do starting off the same. Ah, it's pretty, isn't it? So you're doing that for each of them. So it should look something like this. What a beautiful thing. It is really pretty, I agree. And it will sort of almost get prettier as it goes along. Yeah, it's all about sculpture, really. It's engineering. If you pop your finger into one of these pockets, you can then squash it down. I can see there's a little bit of a wrinkle there, so I'm getting rid of any wrinkles. And Paula, are you in New York? Am I guessing that? Am I guessing this wrong? Are you in New York? Is this morning time? My apologies if it's a different Paula I'm thinking of. I'm just curious. Are we around the world? Again, squashing this down. And squashing each one in turn. Little pocket. And it should squash down. Well done, Wendy. You know what you're doing. That's it. Good. I have to say, I think at this stage it's really lovely. It's like a little flower. Look at the layers in that. What? I just find this such a lovely thing to play with. I'm just playing at the moment. What to do? Isn't it lovely? Oh, delightful. I might have a go at making this out of the tracing paper. Yes, Eric, I tried making structures out of the tracing paper, as you suggested. Really good. I've actually got mine against the window. Really nice. Very good. Yeah, you're in New York. Hurrah! Wow, yes, you are with paper folding friends. Oh, that's so nice. What a lovely way to wake up and fold. Yay. Yeah, it was really good. I'm really enjoying the tracing paper. And it's bringing me on to snowflakes as well next. Right, so our next step is taking any one of these sides. I could just play around with the structure for a long time. Is folding it from the middle to that midway line. So I took the side of that square and I took it to straight line. And the same for each of them. So it's producing, again, this will produce another delightful pattern. I think you can enjoy every step along this. I have to say, enjoy patterns. They just make me feel happy. It's the kind of symmetry, the dance of them. They feel like pieces of music. They're beautiful. And there are many variations. People have been, you can play around a lot with all of this and let it go in different directions. That's right. Oh, just my, yes, that's true. Yes, that's true, Paula. We have. Nice way to start the day. There we go, and the side to the middle. And for Junid, I guess it's evening time in India. And we've got New York in the morning. And most of us are in England. All coming together with folding. What a beautiful thing. We're so lucky to have this as a tool for being able to just relax. It tends to be something people think of as childhood, but I think it's just a brilliant tool as an adult as well. Why ever let that stop? Why should children have all the fun? And don't ever let your inner child stop. The sense of discovery is wonderful. I mean, that's a lovely thing too, isn't it? Yes. Oh. Yes, I agree, Paula. It is lovely maths. You're right, Deborah. So hopefully you're all at this stage. So again, it's another lovely pattern. So next I want you to take the corners and just fold over. Keeping it in the middle. That's right. Well done, Eric. Thank you. Oh, you're all so good. It makes such a difference hearing from people. Well, most of the time, otherwise I feel I'm just talking to myself. But I am getting a bit used to that. It's nice to feel there are people there. I don't know whether you've seen, because my videos, obviously, I've been sharing every week and doing these live folds. I don't know if you saw the Pudsey Bear. There was a child who was asking if I could show how to fold Pudsey Bear. So I found, it was actually on Origami Instructions, a bear face. Unfortunately, didn't say who designed it, alas. I don't know who has. And then I adapted it to make Pudsey Bear and just did it as an extra video just to help this one child. And well, it's been the most popular. Over 1,600 views. That's quite huge for me. But looking on Twitter, it was so lovely looking up Origami Pudsey and saw lots of schools, lots of children. So sometimes some of those views were just a single view, but an entire class of children all folding, which is just, isn't that wonderful? So happy. Oh, excellent. So it should look like this with all these changes and transformations. Our next step is to open these little flaps up. Also, like to think of opening flaps up as opening little presents. And if we take this top leaf, this top layer, and you should be able to pick that up and bring it back and tuck in the sides. Again, you may have to a little bit fiddle around with them. Such a lovely thing. I think at the end of this, Eric, I must show you the transparent version of the structure I made last week. Maybe I could show you the window. I've got some of them up as well. There we go. And again, the next. So I hope this is working for you as well. We're all busy, aren't we? Yes. Oh, thanks, Eric. Yeah. I've got one against a lamp and a couple on my window as well. Experiment a bit further with. I'm hoping with the Tomoko Fuchsia book to make progress with the snowflakes, but I have felt slightly perplexed. I think I'll have to use my phone for the Google Translate, and I may even write it down. I know it's all visual, but it's surprising how much referred to other areas. Oh really? Wow. Gosh. It's not really paper, is it? Oh, it is like a crane. You're absolutely right. Especially this kind of reshaping. Yeah, I wonder if you could do any crane structures with this. You probably could do. Maybe do a flower of cranes. Oh, thanks for all your chats while making. That's actually rather impressive. On the whole, it's quite hard to do, isn't it? Origami while typing. So one time your hands are not free. I don't know about you, but if you've done any Zoom things, I find unless you're doing origami or something, it's a little bit passive. I need to be doing something while on screen. Wow. Gosh, I didn't know that tracing paper was really paper. Wow. It just changes the structure of it so much too, doesn't it? Feels very strong. Oh, that's fascinating. Great. So hopefully you've ended up with something like this, which again is a beautiful structure. And you could again just play around. I mean, this is like a sort of a lotus or lily. It's a beautiful thing. I was keen to share with you some of these folds because it's lovely to show Harbin's book. Yes, it does. And just this joy of the different structures that are happening along the way. So we've not got too much further to go. As you can see, it's getting there, but it's not quite at the start stage yet. So to do that, we're going to now turn to the back of this. And you've got these little triangles. So take your triangle and push it down. And do that for each of these corners. Like so. It seems quite dark. It's not. It's only just after coming up to 2:30 in England. It's already just dark and grey. After this, I'm going to go off on a long walk and I'm going to kick autumn leaves around. Just loving autumn colours at the moment. They just really, I find, make a big difference. I find it important to get outside every day, either a run or a walk if I can. Yeah, it's important to look after both your physical and mental health, and actually they all come together. I think of being the same thing. So hopefully you've done that. So our final step, we're almost there, is to take the outside and try and fold it into the middle. Now I find it's a little bit of a twist almost, that you'll only be able to really do the sort of middle of it. So I'm taking this and I'm aiming towards, keeping that down actually. So just that little bit almost in the middle. And it's given that nice line. You can see it's already becoming quite sculptural. Again, each side, we're just really almost doing a little square in the middle. So taking this in, you have to really twist the paper right round and giving it a little hard press in the middle there. So just doing that on each side. And hopefully after this, you've done all your folding. And the next thing will just be playing around with it. Okay. Need your hands to do that, Lizzie? Yes, probably. Oh. See what happens. Play around with it. There are many different things you can do with this structure anyway, so you may discover something new. But it is quite a... So with those little lines that I folded anyway, you can start to sort of push them together. It really is playing around. And it starts to sort of come together. It really is quite 3D at the back here. It's interesting, isn't it? I like it because it's all very playful. There we go. It almost looks kind of nice and round as well. I don't know how yours are looking. So it looks like this at the front. And like that at the back. Maybe. And Eric, I will take this camera and show you some of the transparent ones I've made. So having a little tiny tour at the same time. Right, let me see if I can show this to you. It's a bit hard for me to tell whether you can see it, but I don't know if you can see up there. It's transparent, you can see a little bit of the garden, but I've been doing the red and blue. And over here on a lamp, the transparent one, which I don't know if maybe it's too bright to see. There we go. Can you see that? So I think it's rather beautiful with the light through it. And that was recommended by you, Eric. A quick tour. Oh, yeah. So are you making them flat? From Rosa, this one isn't flat. You'll find it's quite three-dimensional, but I think that's what's rather beautiful about it. Enjoy it as a sculpture, I would suggest. This one is from last week and it's very similar. So it started off the same. A bit hard to see, it's a transparent one. But it is flat, so they're different, but they're derived from the same thing actually. Yeah, haven't done that last bit before. Yes, it is. And another way that it could be changed, if I show you the diagrams, which again show you how you can just be playful. So these are all from the same thing, really. Can you see? So this is another different variation you can do, where you can fold things back in a slightly different way. So I thought it was really lovely because it's just giving you that feel for how you can play and how it really affects the structure, because they look rather different, don't they, all of them? I hope it's worked out for you. Yes. Oh, can you squash it flat? I think I've mostly enjoyed it being 3D, but I wonder how you do that. I'm curious even. Don't know whether you can share a picture later on. I've done it flat. Mine's very much 3D. Definitely. Oh. So you can flatten it down? I don't know. Oh. Could have done that one in fabric. Yes, Wendy, the collage of extraordinary folds that you shared just utterly blew my mind. It was just extraordinary. So Wendy's been doing all sorts of lovely variations of this to make her. It's just astonishing. So beautiful. So fantastic. Oh, yeah, did you starch it? So you can do this in fabric too. Presumably you need to add little stitches to hold things together, yeah? Or did you starch it? because material just doesn't hold these folds in the same way as paper, does it? But, I'm curious for that answer, Wendy. Then I'm going to sign off after that. I hope it's worked for you. I will soon be sharing lots of little festive folds, so trees and stockings, little Santa, different stars, maybe towards the end of the year, little peace dove. So just gently get yourself a little bit festive. It's a way of bringing yourself spirits, recognizing this time of year, and maybe there could be gifts for loved ones you could send through the post. I've been making little decorations, so I can't wait to share with you some festive folds, and they'll keep us going towards the end of the year, I think. Bring us that sparkle. Made a starch book. Fascinating. So keep up your folding, and wishing you a good evening, Junid, a good lunchtime for most of us here in England, and have a lovely, lovely day as well in New York. I hope it will be a good day for you. Take care, keep safe, keep well, keep up that distancing, and at least it's been good news that things will get better, but we just all have to keep safe for now. Bye bye.